Welcome everyone to today's exploration into the source material. We're diving into the mechanics of resilience and career momentum today.
Yeah, and we're looking at a really fantastic piece of writing.
Exactly. It's an open letter by Nikat Sadir, the founder of My Career Buddy, and it's titled "The Art of Resilience: Keep Moving."
Right, which is just packed with these really grounded, practical strategies.
It really is. And our mission today is to extract those strategies for navigating career hurdles and, well, kind of challenge the traditional sequence of how we build confidence.
Because we usually get that completely backward.
Oh, totally. And, if you're listening right now, whether you're a student or maybe a migrant trying to establish yourself, or just someone changing careers or feeling stuck in a prolonged job search.
Which is so incredibly common.
Yeah, it is. We promise that today's insights will give you a shortcut to getting unstuck without, feeling overwhelmed by having to create some rigid 5-year plan.
Because those plans can be so paralyzing.
Okay, let's unpack this. There's this central, really counterintuitive premise in the letter. We usually think we need confidence before doing something brave, but the opposite is actually true.
What's fascinating here is looking at the psychology behind how she actually founded My Career Buddy in the first place.
Right, because she didn't just wake up completely fearless.
Exactly. She had all these doubts. She was constantly asking, will people actually ask for help? Will this work? But she didn't wait for the confidence to arrive. She just took one step, and that organically grew into multiple programs and partnerships.
I mean, she shares this amazing anecdote in the letter about a friend who joined Toastmasters to improve their public speaking.
Which sounds completely terrifying to most people.
It does. Initially, Nikat thought it was completely crazy to, voluntarily step into a room and speak when you'll be horribly nervous.
Yeah, like why put yourself through that kind of torture?
Right. But a year later, she found herself doing exactly that. Because, as the letter points out, we take the step and the confidence comes later.
Because your brain literally needs proof. It needs to know that stepping out of your comfort zone won't destroy you.
So you have to survive it first.
Yes. You take the terrifying steps,
Yeah.
you survive, and then confidence is just the byproduct.
It's a lot like driving at night, right?
Oh, I love that analogy.
Yeah, because you can only see as far as your headlights illuminate. So maybe just like 200 feet ahead of you.
But you can make the entire journey that way.
Exactly. You don't need to see the destination to take the drive.
And that is exactly how My Career Buddy was built. Nikat didn't have all the answers mapped out.
She just had her headlights on.
Right. But because she kept moving, one conversation led to another idea, and then another client interaction created a whole new program.
Which is really liberating, right? Realizing you just need to take one step.
Mm-hmm.
But it immediately begs a very practical question.
Which is, what should that step actually be?
Yeah. If you don't have the whole map, how do you figure out what that micro step should be?
Well, Nikat recommends some highly specific micro steps for when you're stuck and don't know the right next move.
Like what? What kind of things?
Things like just sending the message or updating your LinkedIn profile. Maybe asking someone for advice.
Okay, so really small, actionable things.
Right. Going to the networking event, asking an uncomfortable question, or just trying something slightly beyond your current abilities.
Just putting yourself out there a tiny bit.
Exactly. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the source points out this deep wisdom that sometimes the next opportunity isn't visible from where you're standing.
You have to move before you can see it.
Yes, you literally cannot see it until you change your vantage point.
But wait, I have to push back a little here. Isn't taking random steps just, I don't know, flailing around?
It can definitely feel that way at first.
Because if I'm the listener, how do I know I'm not just wasting my time updating LinkedIn if what I really need is, like, a completely new skill?
Well, that's the beauty of it. Movement creates momentum, yes, but it also creates data.
Oh, I see. So it's a feedback loop.
Precisely. You take a step, you get feedback, and that data naturally course corrects you toward what you actually need to do next.
Which perfectly tees up her advice for technical professionals, right?
Right.
Because they need a very particular kind of momentum.
Yeah, she directs this specifically at technology and data professionals, like talented international students or early career pros.
And her core message there is to just keep developing while you are searching.
Don't wait for an employer to hand you a project. You have to take the initiative.
Right. Don't sit around waiting for permission to do the work.
Exactly. She says to pick a publicly available data set, find a real business problem you're curious about, and just build.
Build, analyze, automate, and, crucially, document your impact.
Yes, show exactly what you did and why it matters.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though, because it's like walking into an interview and saying, hey, I know Python, SQL, and Power BI.
Right, which pretty much everyone says.
Exactly. It's like saying, look, I own a hammer, a saw, and some nails.
That doesn't mean you're a master carpenter.
Right. Anyone can say they own tools, but showing an employer a house you actually built with those tools, that is what creates a real differentiator.
We should definitely acknowledge that this approach requires immense discipline, though.
Oh, absolutely. It is not easy.
No, it's not. It requires the willingness to keep learning when nobody is watching you and, doing it without any immediate validation.
Just grinding it out in the void.
Yeah, nobody is paying you to do this yet. You have to generate your own momentum.
And, pouring your heart into a project when nobody is watching and then still facing rejection. That takes a massive emotional toll.
It really does. It can be devastating to get that no.
Which kind of brings us to how the source material redefines the very nature of resilience itself.
Yeah, she provides a real reality check in the letter. You might face a rejection this week. Someone might ignore your message.
Or you might just feel like everyone else is moving so much faster than you are.
Exactly, but Nikat explicitly gives permission to pause, to rest, or even change direction entirely.
Just don't confuse a difficult chapter with the end of your whole story.
That is the key distinction, yeah.
So what stands out to you here? For me, it's this shift away from the idea that more effort always equals success.
Right, that old brute force mentality.
Exactly. The philosophy here isn't just about grinding out another 100 job applications. It's about changing your strategy or just having a single conversation.
Which is so refreshing. And this raises an important question. What actually is resilience?
Because it's clearly not just slamming your head against the wall over and over.
No, it's not. The letter's ultimate thesis is that resilience isn't always about being strong.
Sometimes it's just about being adaptable.
Right. Sometimes it is simply having the humility to say, okay, well, that didn't work. What can I try next?
I love that. So to bring this exploration full circle, momentum is really generated through small, visible actions.
Yeah, prioritizing showing over telling.
Right, and reframing resilience as this continuous loop of, experimenting and adapting rather than just brute force endurance.
Exactly. It's a much more sustainable way to navigate your career.
So what does this all mean for you right now as you're listening? We want to urge you to pick just one small step today that makes you slightly nervous.
Just one tiny micro step.
Yep. But before we go, I know you had a final kind of provocative thought you wanted to leave everyone with.
I do, yeah. Something to mull over. If action truly creates confidence, and we don't need the whole map to succeed, well, what if the traditional 5-year career plan is actually a trap?
Oh, wow, a trap.
Yeah. Think about it. What if being strictly locked into a long-term plan is the exact thing preventing us from taking those messy, uncomfortable micro steps where all the real opportunities are actually hiding?
That is such a profound way to look at it. It really flips the script on how we plan our lives.
It does, doesn't it?
Well, that is all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us on this exploration.
Keep learning and keep building, everyone.
And above all,